Hi guys, welcome back to some more...
I am in need of something.
Sherlock Holmes versus Jack the Ripper. We're looking for a pencil. Yes, here we go. Is that it?
I am in need of something.
Shut your freaking face.
First of all, let's place our 4 murders on this map, as well as the spot where the graffito appeared, and the piece of apron was dropped.
Oh god, how we do this? Okay. Place a picture of the victim from the bottom right to where they kill Eileen Chapman. 29 Hamburg Street. Which was... fucking far. Let's just try with Dutfield Yard. Polly Nichols. Polly Nichols isn't there for some reason. Oh, yeah, she's here. Okay. No, because I was looking at my thing and it said Mary Ann Nichols. That's why I was like, what the fuck? Okay, Another square, and this is what? Graffito.
Perfect, Watson. Let's connect each crime scene to the one out of the others that is the furthest.
Huh. Click the pencil. Connect the 2 victims that are the farthest from each other. So here to here. Here to here. Oops, did that not work? Hold on a minute. Catherine Eddles. Yeah. And Polly Nichols, right? Elizabeth Stride. Oh, maybe we have to go this way?
You see, Watson,
Fucking
the murders
game.
aren't grouped together, but seem to be spread out like cardinal points around a central zone. The killer obviously wanted to avoid returning to the previous scenes of his crimes, assuming that they would be more closely watched, or that he could be recognized.
So, the killer lives at the center of this cross.
In the vicinity, most certainly, but how near? We cannot afford to get it wrong. If you concentrate, Watson, you will notice that the murders are roughly equidistant from the intersection point of the diagonals. Let's focus on the night of the double murder. Remember, Watson, it took us 20 minutes to get from Dutfield's Yard to Mitre Square. Let's draw a line from one to the other.
We just fucking did that. From Dutfield Yard to Mitre Square? No, Buck Row. Let me guess.
Perfect. We didn't make the trip as the crow flies, but that would not harm our estimate. Let's suppose the killer left Dutfield's Yard at 1 a.m. and arrived in Mitre Square at 1:35 a.m. when he was seen by the 2 Josephs. If he took 5 minutes to change his clothes, that leaves a range of 10 minutes to determine where this man's lodgings are. We must determine the area in which one can go from Dutfield's Yard to Mitre Square in less than half an hour. To do this, let's draw an ellipsis. The length between Dutfield's Yard and Mitre Square corresponds to 20 minutes. By adding half, we get a distance of 30 minutes. By taking the 2 right segments, each starting from the 2 murder scenes, and which the sum of the lengths makes 30 minutes, we get our ellipses.
Shut up! Take this. Hello? No, that's not what I want. I want this. Oh, do I have to... The fuck? What do I do? Oh, I didn't get a compass. That's what I'm missing. Hold on a minute. Okay, never mind. Drawing ellipses that covers minus square and minus and... Oh. No. That's wrong. We're gonna try to freaking do this. I don't know what's going on. It says to try to draw it past the circles. More football-y, fieldish.
There we are, Watson.
Fuck
Our
you,
killer lives
man.
in
Fuck
this
you.
area.
It's still rather a vast area,
Oh, the
Holmes.
stupid
Yes,
walkthrough is like a
indeed.
perfect
And our
circle.
goal is
I'm
to
gonna punch the
reduce this
person who
area
did this
as much
walkthrough
as we
because
can.
I just wasted
We
about
must
20
consider
minutes
the fact that
trying to
the
get a
murder at
stupid
Mitre
circle
Square
right.
was committed under a certain amount of pressure, given that the killer knew he was wanted for the acts he committed not long before. We can assume that he had to do it in a safe zone, that is, an area
So
not far
angry.
from where he lives. This is especially true of an act such as the graffiti he carried out after 2 murders. Let's trace a circle around this point, with the distance separating it from Mitre Square as the radius. This will enable us to determine our killer's safe zone.
I have no idea what the fuck you want. Where am I supposed to put this here? This should be about here.
Our killer must surely live inside the
Random circle right there.
Now, let's intersect it with the ellipsis that we previously determined.
Oh my god, that was so scary. See, it
There we
wasn't
are,
even
Watson,
perfect.
The Aldgate district.
That was so
Shouldn't we
stupid.
inform the police so that they can concentrate their efforts on this area of Whitechapel?
It is probably already crawling with inspectors, Watson, and I doubt that they would take us seriously, even if they were willing to listen to what we had to say. Let's focus instead on understanding the killer's modus operandi. We know our murderer preys on prostitutes who are penniless, weak, sick, or alcoholic, that he distracts them the moment before killing them, and that he left an anonymous message inciting anti-Semitic hatred at the entrance of a building occupied by Jews. How would you describe this man?
What a coward.
Indeed, he is a person of great cowardice. Let's look at his murders, and in particular, the depredations on the corpses, putting aside that of Liz Stride, because on that occasion his work was left unfinished. If we recall the observations made on the victims and the parts that were
just
mutilated
keep
or
these
damaged
pictures
on
in
each
your
of the
apartment?
bodies, without forgetting the
That's
fact that he also
terrifying.
removed 1 or more organs, we can ascertain that our killer evolves during the course of the murders, cowardly and still evolving. And yet, look at the location of our first murder, that of Polly Nichols in Bucks Row. It is the most distant from the area our killer would appear to live. Perhaps this murder was preceded by another within the killer's area. I believe a cowardly killer would commit his first murder in an area close to his home in order to find refuge as quickly as possible on carrying out the act.
Holmes, an idea just occurred to me that fills me with dread. This evolution of which you speak.
He will pursue his next victim as long as the conditions permit him to continue killing Watson.
But how could one go even further in this horror? Look at what he did to
He's a
that
monster.
woman,
What do you
Catherine
think?
Eddowes.
In order to avoid having to answer that question, we must act with haste and planning. Watson, I suggest you inform yourself on the mutilations sustained by the victims. We played with the idea that this could be an act of vengeance against prostitutes. If the mutilations correspond to areas affected by a specific pathology, perhaps the killer wanted to give an eye for an affliction he felt the prostitutes he knew were responsible for.
And this trail leading to Dr. Tumblety Holmes?
I also have a few things to look into in the meantime. I still have a primary witness to track down, not to mention old trails I've yet to pursue. See you soon, Watson.
Ta-ta.
When we first spoke about the Bucks Row murder with Watson, he was reading a newspaper, The Star, dated September 1st, 1888, I believe, which mentioned similar murders in the preceding months. I have no chance of finding the police reports, but perhaps I could find some information at the Central News Agency. I must go there at once. Afterwards,
time is
I'll
it?
go back to see Abraham, the owner of the pet shop in Whitechapel. The second Joseph's statement would lead me to believe that he may know the man spotted on the corner of Church Passage that night. If that's the case, I must find this witness so I can question him.
Alright, so let's go to the Central News Agency. Which was, oh god, I don't remember what that was. That was this way, I think, yes. It's written right there.
Ah, Bulling is there. It won't hurt just this once. Hello, Mr. Bulling. So, did your colleague tell you about the tip?
What tip?
Ah, I see. I gave him an explosive tip and he went without you? Oh, that's not very sporting on his part. No doubt he took all of the credit for his discovery.
You're winding me up, eh?
Do people
I'm
just like
showboating something to make him believe me.
do people who like just did they just come to work in like bow ties and top hats and stuff like that? Okay, we do have the IOU. That's no yeah, there we go.
What do you want?
I'm not winding you up. The proof is that he gave me this advance on the debt.
The traitor! He owes me. If I find him...
Before I leave, can you do
What are
me
you
a
gonna do?
favor?
Breathe on him?
Heck, tell me.
I'm looking for some reliable info on the murders committed in Whitechapel in the months before Polly Nichols' attack.
Reliable?
Ha!
You really think you'll find that here? Fine. I'll be honest with you. We have folders that group the dispatches from the current year into categories. In the police law category, you'll find the transcripts from the trials and investigations that we sell to the newspapers that ask us.
Perfect.
Sadly, I am out of time. I'll leave you to solve it, eh? You're the detective, aren't you?
Okay. This way. Yeah.
The dossiers are full of papers in dated envelopes. I can't open them. That would be too obvious. How can I tell which compartment to look in? No categories are indicated.
Okay, we have to find a bunch of I'm just gonna do this here. Okay. Front page here. World. Where's world? Politics society. Economy. News and belief and oddities. Personalities. Police and law. Inventions and sciences. Culture, sports. Culture. Sports. No, culture. Sports.
These envelopes contain dispatches of police and judicial cases. Now, I need to open them discreetly. I must try to unglue the openings.
Take the watering can. It says, oh, here it is.
Water.
Teapot. Place the teapot on the stove.
I need something.
I need something.
There, that will provide me with steam. These envelopes contain dispatches of...
That's what I'm trying to do.
These envelopes contain dispatches of police and judicial cases. Now, I need
Oh,
to...
hold on. Gotta light the stove, dude.
These envelopes contain
Okay,
dispatches...
I did it. There we go.
These envelopes contain
What the
dispatches
fuck? There we go.
of... And it looks like I'm in luck. This envelope contains precious information.
Testimony in the Smith affair. Day of inquest, Saturday, April 7th, 1888. Mr. Wynne E. Baxter of East Middlesex coroner held an inquiry on Saturday at the London Hospital respecting the death of Emma Elizabeth Smith, age 45, widow lately living at 18 George Street, Spitalfields, who, it was alleged, has been murdered. Chief Inspector West of the H Division of Police and for the Division of Police, Miss Mary Russell, Deputy Company, did for about 2 years, and even a bank holiday. She left home at 7 o'clock and returned for about 4 or 5. Next morning, a dreadful state. Her face and head were much injured. One of her ears had been nearly torn off. She told the witness that she had been set upon and robbed of her money. Witness took her to hospital, and when passing along Osborne Street, the deceased pointed out the spot where she was assaulted. I remember this. I don't know if it was from the game, or if it was from the actual Jack the Ripper case, or if it was maybe from the movie even. She said there were 3 men. Sorry, Mr. George Haslip. House surgeons say that when the deceased was admitted to hospital, she had been drinking but not intoxicated. She was bleeding from the head and ear, and had other injuries of a revolting nature. Jeez. Witnesses found that she was suffering from rupture of the peritoneum, which had been perforated by some blunt instrument with great force. The deceased told them that at 1:30 that morning she was passing the Whitechapel Church. She crossed the road to avoid them, but they followed, assaulted her, took all the money she had, and committed the outrage. She was unable to say what kind of injury was used, nor could she drive their assailants, and she said that one was of use in 19. Deaths ensued on Wednesday through peritonitis set up by the injuries. Let me see registry supposed to seeing me. Oh god, this is freaking long. Guys, sorry, I read faster than I speak it, so just read it for yourself. Right. Oh, there's more.
The information excludes the murder of the first woman, Miss Smith. Jack the Ripper can't be the author of that crime. On the other hand, there are enough similarities to suggest he may be the killer of Martha Tabram. I must go to the pet shop.
I'm gonna leave here for now, guys, but look forward to some more. Blech. Thanks for watching.